The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of She's in the Circle are their own and do not represent LMV Media Versatility, that of any broadcast networks utilized its advertisers or sponsors. All content is subject to copyright and may not be reproduced in any form without prior written consent by LMV Media Versatility. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of She's in the Circle are for general public information and entertainment purposes only.
Understand, and I'ma be the boss of it. Okay, watch out. Unstoppable. Swag on it. Okay. Okay. You gonna swag on all the things all the time. Absolutely. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you doing this evening? Welcome to She's in the Circle.
Yes. Welcome.
This is where we get business done.
And we still have fun.
Fun. And we want to let you know that you belong here.
Absolutely.
So welcome.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining.
Yes.
So today we have some great news. We have a very special guest today. She is a coach and consultant for a communication coach and consultant, amazing woman, well known in her community, all the things. She carries herself well. She is a beautiful woman who empowers other women. And we all know empower women.
Empower women. That's right.
So we can't wait to bring her on and introduce her to you today. So we're going to, before we jump in and bring her on, we're going to go ahead and do some intros and let you guys know what's going on in the circle. And again, thank you guys for showing up.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So welcome. I'm Katrina Carrington,
Absolutely.
your CPA, your business bestie, all things business and tax planning and strategy.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have the amazing Dejae Williams, marketing and credit specialist. And again, we definitely have to talk about those Canvas skills because y'all, have you been following the social media?
Have y'all seen it?
Have you seen all of this
touch of magic,
fabulous,
just a little bit.
amazing things going
Just
on?
a little bit, yeah.
That's my girl here. That's my girl.
You know what? I'm in the circle. What can I
That's
say?
right. That's right. And like Deja said, you belong here. And She's in
Absolutely.
the circle. We are just so excited about all of the things that we have going on, things that we have coming up, and also, of course, our Pink Pizzazz.
Yeah.
We had our Pink Pizzazz event.
Amazing.
This past Saturday, and just a wonderful event, bringing women together in the community.
Absolutely.
We had fun. We had a lot of games. You'll see the pictures and everything being shared from that event. But it was
some line dancing.
We had an amazing time. We just come on.
Let's do another great event.
Oh, right. That's right.
You
And
guys
thank
gotta
you.
look out for the event.
That's right. And stay tuned because there's so much more ahead.
Absolutely.
But this was the kickoff just to get everybody just mingling and working together. And it was a beautiful thing.
Beautiful experience.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. So, and we also want to thank our viewers for continuing to support, for continuing to wear your pink. Yes. We love seeing all of the pink, all of the beautiful faces. Thank you. Remember to share the photo and tag She's in the Circle. Don't forget to tag She's in the Circle so we can make sure that you show up. Okay? That you show up. We want to highlight and showcase your beautiful faces every time we have the show. So thank you all so much for continuing to support. We love you guys so much.
We love the support. And speaking of that, and supporting us, we want to support you with giving you guys tools that you can use in your business and in your personal life. And so one of the tools that we want to highlight today is the tool called Otter. Otter is a game changer. It is a great AI tool.
That's right.
It helps with dictation. It helps recording the notes and dictating the notes for you as well. You can also have the notes emailed or text to your phone or emailed to your laptop. And then you can go back and use the notes and have an overview of what you went over. So it's a great tool.
It's amazing. So anytime you are anytime you're having any type of meeting, this is something that you definitely want to go ahead and turn on. And it can also do that for Zoom, guys. So when you're doing those Zooms,
That's right.
if you sync it up with your Otter, it will automatically remind you, and it will automate taking the notes for you. So after you actually, once you just have to go ahead and tell it, yes, we want you to record, right? But after you approve it to do that, then it's going to record the notes for you. And after you're done with that call, you have this nicely typed up, like you have your own personal secretary, all right, has already typed up these notes for you. Now you can take it, drop it into Word. You can do what you need to with it. You can,
hold on.
Otter.
Is that okay? Otter, yeah. Okay.
Don't forget the affiliate code.
They said, don't forget the affiliate code. It's going to be in the description below. And Otter said, yes, it is an amazing AI tool, and it is here for you. So there's no excuses anymore for you and your business. We have Otter here to help.
Where's my calculator? Because there's a free version of Otter, guys.
And how much does that equate to?
That's called free 99. Free 99 is my calculator.
Add that up for the folks real quick.
Come on, with the
CPA. Come on.
Free. 99. Okay?
That's one decimal.
You can't get any better than that.
You really can't. Come on for free 99.
That's right. Come on.
Absolutely.
Right. So
before we introduce our amazing guest today, we are going to introduce an amazing book because
that's right. Go ahead.
we talked about Otter. Now we're going to go ahead and give you guys another great book, much like on the level of Atomic Habits. This book is amazing. I've been reading this book. My son's been reading this book along with me. We even went as far as to make a workbook to go back and make sure that we're retaining the information. So this book is called Learning to Learn and the Navigation of Moods. And the author, his name is Gloria P. Flores. She is an attorney. And so she created this book to help people learn better and more efficiently. And she knows the way you feel kind of helps the way you learn and how you take in information. So if you're not in if you're not in a learning mode or a learning mood, a productive one, you're not going to be as productive with your studies. So I love this book. So what I'm going to share today is a quick poem from the book.
All right.
And this poem is called The Beginner's Creed that Gloria created. And it's for anyone if they're starting something new, whether it's a class, a course, or just embarking on a new business venture, right? So the book, the quote is the poem, is called The Beginner's Creed. So here it goes. It goes, I am a beginner. I am entering into a new game about which I know nothing. I do not yet know how to move in this game. I see many other people playing in this game now. This game has gone on for many years prior to my arrival. I am a new recruit arriving here for the first time. I see value to me in learning to navigate this domain. There is much for me to learn. The basic terminology, the basic rules, the basic moves of action, the basic strategies. While I'm learning these things, I may feel various negative reactions, overwhelmed at how much there is to learn, insecure that I do not know what to do, inadequate that I lack the capacity to do this, frustrated and discouraged that my progress is slow, angry that I may have been given the insufficient guidance, anxious that I will never perform up to expectations on which my career depends, embarrassed that everyone can see my mistakes.
Wow.
But these moods are part of being a beginner. It does not serve my goal and ambition to dwell in them. Instead, if I make a mistake, I will ask, what lessons does this teach? If I make a discovery, I will celebrate my aha moment. If I feel alone, I will remember that I have many friends ready to help.
Love it.
Okay? If I'm stuck, I will ask for help from my teachers. Over time, I will make fewer mistakes. I will gain confidence in my ability. I will need less guidance from my teachers and friends. I will gain familiarity with the game. I will be able to have intelligent conversations with others in the game. I will not cause breakdowns from promises that I lack the competence to keep. I will have an ambition to become competent, perhaps even proficient, or even an expert in this game. But for now, I'm a beginner.
I love that.
And that's okay.
I love that. We're going to have to do a whole show just on
the book,
that poem, that book. That was beautiful. But what I love about it is that she's given herself grace. She's
That's
giving
the part
herself
right there.
grace. And I think
Absolutely.
that that's something we touched on that on the last show, but that's something that's so important. And especially just kind of segueing into our topic of the day about communication, because that's a big part of it. And we're going to talk about that self-talk and what we're telling ourselves. But
Right.
and what I heard in that poem is that she's giving herself grace and not, holding herself, not taking the mistakes that she might make so hard and being
Correct.
just, giving herself some leeway there. So I love that. And I think we always want to talk about a business bestie tip. And I think one of the things that I want to just kind of put out there is, as a business bestie, communication. And that's such a big part of
Absolutely.
working together with
It
anyone. And I'm excited to get into the conversation and the topic today.
Yes.
But as business besties, I think that that's something that's extremely important in any type of relationship. But it's definitely if you're going to be working with someone in a professional manner, being open, being transparent, giving
Yes.
yourself grace are really important things. But I'm not going to steal any thunder here, so let's get to the main topic.
Well, that's a great
today.
business bestie tip, and thank you for
Yes,
sharing
you're
that.
welcome.
Communication
You're
is
welcome.
definitely key. So the main topic today is called She's in Sync, Breaking Communication Barriers. And our special guest today is none other than the vivacious, brilliant, amazing, radiant, okay?
Shift here. I need to shift here.
Okay, you need a shift on that note, right?
Shift on
Miss Brenda Vega, who is a communication coach and consultant.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Brenda.
I am so happy to be in the circle.
And you are?
Yes.
Yes.
So, you know, I came dressed
Yes,
for the
yes.
occasion.
Pink. Can we
Yes.
give it up for the pink?
Yeah. Thank you.
I
Yes.
love
The
it.
whole-
Ladies, you
the
ladies
whole
are
vibe.
gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Now, I understand I am your first special guest.
Yes, yes. That's
So I brought a little something.
Thank you.
No, go ahead. It's just a little something, and let me tell you what it's for.
You know, open that.
And it's pink. With a bow on it.
Wow. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love the bow. Hold on, I'm getting a little caught up here. That's a beautiful bow.
You have to show the people.
Yes. There is like an inscription on here.
Yeah, it is. And it says, and it's talking about women. You know, I love talking about women. I love talking to women. I really enjoy the company and fellowship of women. And for me, this was so perfect. It says she is extraordinary. She is creative, intelligent, phenomenal, confident, kind, authentic, all of these wonderful things, amazing and magical. I am she and she is me.
This
And so what I'm
beautiful.
hoping that you will do is that whenever you have a guest on your show, that you will have them sign your book and write a little something. And then that way, at year's end, you have this beautiful memoir
Wow.
on your guests
Yes.
that have visited. And I will be so happy to be the
Being
first
the
one.
first to autograph our book. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes,
Thank
you are
you. This
so
is so thoughtful,
welcome.
so beautiful.
That is
Thank
such
you.
a
so
heart,
welcome.
a heartwarming gift. Thank you so much.
You're so very
Yes.
welcome. I'm excited to be
That
here
means a lot.
today.
Yes.
Well thought out.
Thank you.
Radiant Brenda Vega, everyone.
Oh.
I mean, what, I wouldn't expect anything less, okay?
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
Thank you.
We said this here because it also ties into our whole
It
vibe.
does. Our
right here,
aesthetic,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
So, Brenda, how did you get into the field of being a communications coach and consultant?
Oh gosh. Thank you for asking that. It has been a real journey. I have always coached people. When I was a little girl, I was coaching people. But then we didn't know what coaching was. And so they would come to me for advice, they would, you know, all these different things. And I would have an opportunity to give them my at that time, very direct, untactful, straight to the point opinion.
Just
Right.
And as I, you know, came into adulthood and had a family of my own, I found that it's so important even to coach your children. And we all do that
Right.
instinctively, I think. But when we get into the workplace, we learn to do it intentionally. So I became a teacher. I taught school for about 15 years. I then was called into pastoral ministry. And so right now I pastor Victory in the Word Worship Center in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I love the people there, and I spend a lot of my time not just teaching them the Word of God, but coaching them in how the Word of God applies in their life and how they can use that to really improve and better their lives. And a great deal of that is simply communication. And so from pastoring for so many years, I realized that I needed to start a business for myself. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always had businesses going on the side, from the lemonade stand when you're a kid, all of that, you know. Oh, I've done skincare, consulting, all kinds of things.
That's right.
And so I've always had an entrepreneur's heart, and I love women entrepreneurs. So this online world that we live in now really allows us to take the gifting that we are and spread it to the world. I believe that every woman is a divine creation. So I founded a group called the Divine Woman Unleashed. And we talk about the amazing awesomeness of the power of God. God created us in his image, right?
Right.
And so that means that all that he is, we are.
That's right.
But for some reason, lots of reasons, women don't live up to that. And part of it, most of it has to do with communicating to ourselves, to other people, how we view our world and how we interact with our world. And so that's why it finally dawned on me, you're a communication coach. I love words. I love books. I love the poem that you read. And so I'm like, I've been doing this all my life.
They said no.
And so now I have the opportunity to take it to another level. And so what I do in my business is that I help faith-based women entrepreneurs who are wanting to scale their businesses to six-figure success. And
Speaking of language.
Come
on, the language.
There's beyond, but I want to get them to that mile marker of that six-figure success. And we do this in a lot of ways, using the art of communication. I help them perfect their pitches and their messages. I help them improve their speaking skills, which is vital. And just really helping them to explain who they are, what they do, so that they can get more clients. Because when you get more clients, you make more sales.
Absolutely. All of it.
There's freedom that goes with that. There's legacy that goes with that. There's joyfulness that goes with that. So that's what I want to help women to just, get that divine blueprint so that you can scale your business to six-figure success.
I love that. I love it so much. Everything that you said, but especially about the communication. And I think a lot of women don't realize how important it is to work on that skill. So I love that you're doing that for women and doing that for the community. That's an amazing thing. So today we wanted to, just kind of delve into communication barriers that women may experience working together. So what do you see as, perhaps some communication barriers in your now in your field? What are you seeing as some of those barriers?
Well, some of the barriers that I see, sometimes women have limitations in how they view the world and how they view themselves.
Right.
And they allow life to put them in such a small box that they can't really express who they are. So when women come together, if you've got people in these little boxes, boxes don't always, come into a smooth operation. Right?
That's good.
And so, and another thing is one of the biggest barrier that I see for women want and need relationship and friendship.
Yes.
Right. That's just the way we're created. We nurture, we bring life into the world. And so we are wired for that
connection,
relationship, connection, communication. But the problem is we don't trust.
That's a huge piece.
Yeah.
We don't trust this communication. We don't trust ourselves, and we certainly don't trust other people with ourself. And so one of the biggest barriers that I see is this lack of trust. And so, and it shows itself, it manifests itself in so many different ways. Like even in the workplace, if you work for other people, or you work with other people say that women are catty. We've heard that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
There's
we've heard
other
that.
words. There's other
Yeah.
words that they use.
Right.
But the reason that is because it's usually women vying for power, authority, worth. And so they don't have that solidly within themselves, so that when you get into another situation with another woman, that comes out, which really, leads us to competition and comparison, which is deadly. There was a quote, I wrote it down, and I think it was Ilyana Van Sant said one day.
Okay.
She said, and I love this, that when you put others down to make yourself better, it is literally an assault on yourself.
I believe that.
Wow.
I
And
believe
can you
that.
explain why that is so?
Yes. Okay. If I'm working with you and we're in a workplace together, and women look at other women, and what they immediately do is compare themselves. She's prettier than I am. She's taller than I am. She's smarter than I am. She speaks better than I do. And they size one another up to see where is my competition. And this is a thing, this is an evolutionary thing that's built in, because women were always competing for resources, right? They were competing for men. They were competing for status. They were competing for, their very well-being.
Right.
And so because this competition thing is built into women, we see other women as potential enemies
Wow.
and rivals, when really other women can be your very best support.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most people go through a lifetime and maybe have one or two friends. A good number really is about 3 to 6 really close besties, right?
Right.
But most women maybe have one, maybe two, and that sometimes is not that authentic, right?
Wow.
Because of the level of competition. So the more you downgrade yourself, the more you'll downgrade other women. And so when you, in trying to solidify your power, your place, your position, see them as competition, and you quietly go to the break room and, did you hear what she said? What did you think about that? And look at the body language. What did you think about that?
Right.
That's that whole mean girl.
Right.
That's that whole mean girl
Yeah,
spirit.
right?
Yeah.
And they're saying one thing, but they're giving you all the cues, and they're shaking their head. What did you think?
Yeah.
Right.
They're letting you know already. I think that she's off, or I didn't like that, or obviously, what is she wearing?
It's all, I see that one a lot.
Right? What is she wearing? Oh, I don't like her shoes. I don't like her hair. Oh, that's so. And we get into this judgment. I'm saying we, but I don't really mean we, because I am so far past that. I think,
That's right.
I think you
Right.
come
Right.
to
Yeah.
a place where you recognize when you can see that the divinity in each person, and then you stop the judging.
Right. Right.
You don't judge as much. The only person, who I judge? I judge me.
Yourself.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Right.
Right? I'm checking myself out. And so and those are some of the barriers, just the trust factor, the competition, the comparison, what we look like, what we sound like.
Right.
Her life is better than mine. Her husband is cuter than mine. Her kids are smarter.
Right.
Women can think of all kinds of things that, can I say, quite frankly, men don't even think about.
Wow. I believe that.
They don't.
believe
Men
that.
don't even. Men's relationships are
Right.
very transactional. Hey, dude, how you doing?
That's real.
And they'll compliment one another.
Right.
And-
Yeah, that's cool. We're going here. I'll meet you there. Okay,
Yes.
see you. Men are good with that. Women's their transactions they're a little bit more emotionally tinged, more judgment tinged, because everything is based off of how do I stack up.
Okay.
And so that's where you hit the walls and hit the barriers. In the workplace, it's a matter of also traditionally women were not at the table. They were not in the boardrooms a long time
They're
ago.
fighting
20
for
years
that
ago.
one
They're
position.
fighting for that one
That's
share,
right,
that
yeah.
one spot. They want that one promotion, but they know they're not going to get it because another woman just got it.
Right.
So they're not going to put another woman in that spot. Well, some of that has changed over the years, but we may see that reversing with some of the things that are going on, all in our country. But I believe that if there's not a seat at the table, you drag up your own chair.
That's right. Or make your own table.
There you go.
Or make your own
That's
table.
right.
There you go.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So those are some of the biggest barriers I see: trust issues and just fighting for prestige and fighting for a spot. And the other thing is, women don't know how to talk to each other sometimes. Like, we gossip together. Women can
That
really
part
gossip
seems so
together.
easy, unfortunately.
It's,
Right.
If we can talk about the latest fashions and trends and all of that.
All the surface.
All the surface, all the superficial things, because we don't trust. It takes a long time to build that trust where, you can say to another woman, I'm hurting because this happened to me.
Right.
And people are not usually that honest in their communication, even though on the inside they could be weeping. But if you improve your communication skills, you can spot all of the signs. The body language is very, very important in communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you'll see them and you'll notice. And another thing we do, we'll say, hey, how you doing? We really don't care. We're really asking because that's just the, thing
Nice
to
thing
say.
to say.
Hey,
Right.
how you,
Nice thing to say.
it's, hey, how you doing? That's
Right.
the greeting.
Yeah.
Right.
But what if we said, hey, how are you?
And actually listen.
How are
Right.
you really doing?
Right. Right.
It would shock some people, but that's communication. That's where you're allowing the person, you're giving them room and space to really say how they are. They know that you're interested. They can see it in your eye contact. They can
Right.
see it in the fact that you're squarely looking at them. They can see it in the fact that you lean in. You want to hear. All of these things are effective communication skills that some people don't have.
Right.
And I think you hit the nail on something too when women interact and they're stacking their self and they're sizing the other person up. So with the body language, it says instead of, hey, how you doing, girl? It's more like, how can I help you? It's like, hey, girl. So the energy is what you say, and like you said, how you say it too.
Yeah.
So it's the body language that speaks more than words sometimes, and people can feel that. So how can someone open up to you if you're a woman doing that? Stop now. Watch your body language and make sure that you are engaging. You want to treat people how you want to be treated. So you want people to give you their focus, time, and attention. You need to return that, right? But I love that. So now for the women that are not like that, how do they engage, interact with women that are like, how do they navigate that landscape?
The women that are not like, which
Are
That may have some of those communication barriers.
Right.
and- yeah.
women that have. So what that is going to take, really, it's very difficult if they are not self-aware. First of all,
That's
self-awareness
so important.
is very important.
right.
And that's why we have these conversations.
That's right.
Right.
We need to talk more about that. We need to make people more aware that your words are so powerful.
They are.
How you talk to people and how you speak to yourself, because it all starts with how you speak to
To
yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
Scripture tells us in Proverbs, it tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And literally, the words that you say, and when they say words, we're talking verbal and nonverbal communication. can literally bring life or it can bring death. It can bring death to relationships, right?
Right.
It can bring death to your dreams, your hopes, because all of your dreams and all of your hopes and all of your success are tied up with other people. Nobody succeeds alone.
That's correct.
Right?
That's
but you can fail alone.
Oh,
But
sure.
your success is tied up with other people, right? Nobody succeeds by themselves.
That's so true.
And so if life and death are in the power of the tongue, you need to be self-aware enough to speak life.
That's right. That's right.
Speak life.
So
Yeah, she did. She dropped all the gems down here. Chris keeps sending the download because we needed that. We needed it. Okay. Yep, all the time. You're good. Yep, all the time. You're good. Yep.
I love that. And the key takeaways from what you're saying is working on yourself.
First.
That's
right.
what I hear, working on yourself, because then that makes it so much easier for you to work with other women. If you see the value in yourself, then there's no competition. The only person you should be competing with is yourself. The only person you judge is yourself. So working on yourself is something that you have to start with first. And then it makes it easier for you to say, wait, and come out and network and meet all of these other women and, do these things that we can come together and do as a community. And we are powerful together.
Yes.
We're powerful.
I really think that it is the responsibility of women who have crossed over, so to speak.
Right.
They've gotten beyond. I don't know that women ever get done with the competition, because there's good competition as well. If I see you working out all the time and it makes me feel jealous, maybe it will spur me to get
Inspiration.
myself to the
Right.
gym. Right? So there's some competition that's
And there's
good.
nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. And I love it when somebody inspires me because I'm like, if she can do that, I can do that.
Right.
That's healthy competition. I'm talking about that toxic,
That mean
unhealthy.
girl.
Right.
Yes,
Girl.
the mean
There you go.
girl syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And that just comes from them trying to validate themselves, trying to, get some worth somewhere because they don't feel like they have it. So the talk that you talk to yourself, what you say to yourself, your inner communication is the first thing.
Right.
If you have to learn how to talk to yourself, most people don't even know how to talk to themselves. So I had to learn a long time ago to actually go to the mirror and stand there and say, Brenda, you are absolutely fabulous.
Okay. And
You are gorgeous.
Yes.
You are smart. You are brilliant. You are kind.
Yes.
And you say this and you look at yourself. And now people know about mirror work, but most people don't do it.
Yeah. It's being intentional.
It's being intentional.
Right.
It's being intentional. The other thing that I think is really, really important is to write for yourself your motivational affirmation.
Wait.
Your life motivational affirmation.
Where's my
Wait, nobody need to get some paper. Well, now,
Right?
some paper.
Yeah, I'm just gonna listen back.
Yeah. Your life
Motivational.
your
Right.
motivation.
What are we writing?
Yes. Your life motivational affirmation.
Yes,
Affirmation means to affirm yourself. Means to love on yourself.
Yes.
Means to lavish praise on yourself. Means to say to yourself, I am enough.
That's right.
I'm more than enough.
Can we just give her a little
I'm
swirl?
more than enough.
Come on.
Sparkle.
Yes.
This is resonating. I really do.
Absolutely.
Like these are not just words. This is not just for show. This is
This
real.
is for real.
This is real.
No, this is real. And everything that you're saying is so on point. It's so key because this is what we're struggling with as women. And we working on ourselves is something that is just step one. We can do that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I like the fact that you're saying to work on yourself first because women sometimes we get that whole, well, let me look at her. She needs to lose weight. She needs to do this better.
Yeah,
but what do you need to do
doing?
better?
Right,
What can
exactly.
I do better first?
right.
So, and it says in the Bible, have righteous judgment.
That's right.
And judge not lest ye be judged first. So judge yourself first. and get your stuff together before you go
Right.
out there trying to help everybody else. Or and sometimes that could be a distraction too, helping other people so you don't have to deal with your own issues and you don't have to work on yourself. So
Right.
if I'm
It's
more
easy.
exactly
Easier to point the finger
Correct.
at someone else instead of working on yourself.
But how
Yeah.
does someone get to the point where they're saying, you know what, I have these habits, I have these ideas that this negative self-talk in my mind that's I just keep replaying over and over again, and it's showing up in other aspects of my life. So how does a woman how does she work through that? How does she work through that? You mentioned the mirror work, right? So that's one aspect. What's something else she can do?
Well, first of all, you have to become self-aware. If she doesn't even realize all of this, if she doesn't have somebody in her life to say, look,
To tell her the truth. Right.
I love you, but, okay?
And that's love.
That's,
Yeah,
and that's
love.
And that's real love.
Yeah.
Or, you said that, you did that, and I want you to see how that hurt other people. So a very insecure person would take that as an attack
Be
on
defensive
themselves,
about
and
it.
they would
Right.
get very defensive, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't hear that. But I think this is what I was saying before. I think it's the responsibility of those of us that have accelerated and elevated a little bit in that area of self-awareness and self-development to go back and reach down and get somebody else and pull them out too. You can identify women in your life. You can identify women in your life that still have this, where they need a lot of validation. They're insecure. They're not confident in who they are. And it is really on you and on me to reach down and say, you know what? I've been looking at you. I've been watching you. And you are an amazing person.
I
And
like
you
that.
have
I
not
like
even
that.
tapped into
Yeah.
all of your
Speaking
divine
to their potential. I love that. I
right?
love it.
So what can they do for themselves?
Right.
Right.
The only thing what they can really do for themselves is just, you got to be intentional about personal development.
Yeah.
Then you
Do the
read books. I love books. Read books. There are books written on how to do everything.
Just about,
how
yeah.
to do everything. Talk to your friends, those ones that you feel a little twinge of jealousy. Be their friend and ask them, how do you do this? You have to be brave. You have to be very courageous. And then get a coach.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Really, get
Seriously,
a coach.
a mentor, yeah.
When I first went into business, even though I own my platform in ministry, right? When I went into business, when I first started, I was a little insecure. I didn't know how to navigate the online world, and it was it was a scary thing.
And
How do you do
imposter
this?
syndrome.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
How do you do that? I mean, I know what I know, and I know what my gift is, and I know what my superpower is, and it is empowering women.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know how to manage this online world. I got a coach.
Yeah, that's smart.
I
That's what your
hired
limitations were.
someone who was further along than I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
to show me how to do that. And that's what people need to know. In this world today,
Yes.
you don't have to go it alone.
You don't.
Get a coach.
And there's so many people out there and so many resources out there
Yeah,
for
yeah.
coaching.
Yes.
So there's
Absolutely.
really no excuse.
There's no excuse.
How bad do you want it?
Yes, for entrepreneurs, what I love is that most of them have kind of gotten past this comparison with people that aren't entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Then when they're into comparison and competition, it's
Right.
with other entrepreneurs.
Right.
now. And so I think that they need help too. If you have to do public speaking, that can be a scary thing
It can be.
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
And it can hold you back.
It can
Yeah.
hold you back. It can help keep you from reaching clients. It can keep you from building networking relationships and friendships.
Yeah.
And like I said, you cannot succeed alone.
Right.
Right. I think back to when you and I first met. It was at an event. It was some kind of
I
charity.
think it was the Dancing with the Onslow Stars.
Oh, Dancing with Stars.
that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we didn't know each other. And, I was sitting there. I had just come from off stage, I think. I was the director of our local women's domestic violence shelter at that time.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting down at the table. I had done all my busy work, and I had sat down at the table. And I think, Katrina, you came in and you didn't have a seat,
Right.
or something. And I was like, oh, come on, sit here. And I don't know, I think it was a divine connection, and we
Right.
just kind of clicked and we stayed in touch. And later on, when we had a situation come up, and it was a financial situation that came up, I was like, I didn't know it was CPA.
There you go.
And I picked up the phone and I sent her a 911 SOS call, and she immediately just came in and just handled that beautifully for me. And it was never an issue of competition, but there was always, I think, just a respect.
Right.
For one another's giftings and who the other is. And I think that that's where we have to get to, where we can respect one another, know that you don't have every gift in the world.
True.
Right?
True.
They don't all belong to you.
Right.
And so you seek and you find and you receive and you accept those people that can communicate their gift to you.
I love that.
So I wanted to just jump in there. Well, first of all, I remember that was over 10 years ago.
It was.
I was just starting my
Wow.
CPA business at that time when we met. And just getting to know people in the whole entrepreneurial world. And I've had my own issues with, just trusting women and putting myself out there. And one of the things that I want to say that I remember and what drew me to you was your act of kindness. Because you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to. You could have been like, well, you should have got here earlier, or you should have got here. You could have done that. And I just remember that, wow, she didn't have to do that, but she did that. And you did that for me. So that just being kind, just being open, not seeing another woman as competition, but hey, come on, here's a spot for you. You didn't know me. Yeah,
While you're talking,
Wow.
You didn't
That's
know
beautiful.
me. So that was, just being open. And I just feel like we just have to, as women, we have to be more open to that. So working on ourselves, definitely working on ourselves allows you to be able to do that, because now I'm not looking at this other woman as competition.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at her, she need a seat. And if that were me, I would want to see. So let me.
Exactly. There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And that translates to all kinds of things. Yeah, when I need help with my business, I'm not looking at you as competition. I'm going to call you up and say, I'm stuck. That in me saying that does not diminish who I am
At all.
Your vulnerability does not diminish who you are as a person. And if you can communicate your vulnerability to someone else, you can open up a world of resources, support, friendship, fun. Being vulnerable, it's okay. Being able to be vulnerable is a strength.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Where, scripture says, be thou very courageous. Have no fear, be very courageous. And that's what I think divine women who communicate well are. They're intentional about being very courageous, and they take steps to improve their communication skills because it bleeds over into everything. Not only building six figures, who does not want to? Why are you in business and you don't want to grow?
Correct. Correct.
And that means that you have to do what it takes to grow. You need more clients, right?
Right.
You have speeches to give.
Absolutely.
You have presentations to make. You have a message to pull together. You need communication skills.
That's right. I like, and this is something that you say a lot is, I'm not going to fight for my limitations. Why would I fight for my limitations here?
Right.
So that's so true. And this is so good. This is, we could
need
probably
this.
We could probably do a whole month on
just communication.
We just need to do a series on this.
Seriously.
Communication style.
There's so much. There's so much going on. And Lamar, of course, is here, and he's it's time for
us
y'all to wrap up. But it's so good. But
let me just say one thing. If you're interested in learning,
I was going to say, how do they get in touch? How do they get you?
Yes, if you'd like to learn your communication style, and it won't cost you anything to learn that, just drop me a line at BrendaVegasSpeaks@gmail.com. BrendaVegasSpeaks@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. And we've got some really exciting programs coming up to really help entrepreneurial women level up and hit that six-figure success.
Oh,
yes. So
7, 8, 9, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. This is so good.
We have to cheer it with.
It's so neat.
Come on.
It's so neat.
Thank you for refreshing us today
This was
with
so
that.
good.
To empowerment,
Yes.
communication, and intention.
Yes, I love it.
Cheers.
I love it. And collaboration.
Collaboration, all the
Yes.
C's.
Really.
WLC water bottles.
There you go. There you go.
Well, this was amazing, and we really, really appreciate you coming on and being our first guest.
Yes.
This was so awesome, and like I said, the wheels are just turning. The wheels are spinning.
yeah.
Like how we can continue this conversation because
We
there's
definitely need
so
to.
more. We just touched the surface. All we did was scratch the surface.
There's
on
so
this.
much to unpack.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is so much coming your way that it's going to frighten you. It's going to come so fast and so powerfully, and you're going to find yourself scrambling to catch up with the blessing that's going to chase you down and overtake
Well,
you.
I receive
And
all of
I
that.
pray that I see that, and I believe that for you, and I'm going to be on that train with you, okay? I don't have my own
Exactly.
Choo-choo.
You're right. We have a call for you next time. Yes, absolutely.
Let's do this again.
I love it. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. So before we wrap up, we just want to thank you all for watching. There's so many ways for you to get into the circle.
So many ways.
And this is so good. Like I just feel
You can feel right.
You got to feel the energy in this room because this is why we work together. This is why women come together because there's just so much power in this and we can do so much more together than we can apart. So
I agree.
I love this. And I love what we're doing with She's in the Circle because this gives us an opportunity to, work on these things that all of those things that you touched on today. So get into the circle. There's so many ways for you to get into the circle. We have our subscription. We have our monthly meetings. Where we're doing productivity sessions. Okay, so let me just talk about our subscription, our business besties subscription packages, because there's different levels of it. And every month, wrong camera. Every month, we are going to be coming together every second Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. And we're doing productivity sessions where you come in with your list of things that you need to get done, and we're going to help you get some things checked off the list. Okay. All right. And so it's going to come with, of course, we're going to get the business done, but we always have to bring in the fun element.
Right.
Okay. So we have different packages for that. It also will include She Swag. So if you love the t-shirts, these blazers, by the way, are from the Unique Bee Boutique.
Part of the She Swag.
That's right. So if you so let me continue that on. You're going to have She Swag. You'll receive one item per month with that subscription. And then you'll also receive discounts into our events. So we have like our big energy event that's going to be coming up. There's different levels of those packages, but you'll be able to save on admission into those events as well. Okay, so that's one way to get into the circle. If you're also looking to start a business or you're in business and you just need some additional assistance, you need a success strategy.
Yes.
You can sit down with myself and Dejae, and we will sit down and assess where you are with your business and help you to scale and reach those 6, 7, 8. Keep going, right, to reach those figures and help you to meet your goals, okay? So that's something also, we have a business strategy session. So the links for all of those things are in our bio. You can just click, if you're watching this on YouTube, just look down below. You'll see all of the links on how you can work together with us. And then, of course, also is sponsorship. So if you would like for us to highlight your business, if you want to get some exposure for your business, we can do that for you. We can work with you on that. So there's also going to be a link in the bio down there for you to get in contact, get into the circle.
Absolutely. And we will talk about your baby as if it's our own. So really do take ownership or take the opportunity for the sponsorship packets because
That's right.
those are going to help you highlight and get in front of our audience and cross market. So let's work together.
So what do we have? Next podcast, what are we going to be talking about next week? I'm excited about next week. So next week is time management. She's efficient.
Yes,
Okay.
and she is.
That's right, because it's a lot of things on that list that need to get done, but it's all about just aligning yourself, knowing being intentional about focusing and getting those things done for your business or whatever it is, whatever your goals are for your life. Okay, so we're going to be talking about time management, time blocking.
Ooh, that's
right.
That's been working amazing in my life right now.
And then also some automation tips as well. So there's a lot of different ways. If you're not at a place yet where you can hire someone, there are tools out there.
AI is taking over now.
There are tools.
Take
There's
advantage of
also
it.
automation tools, CRM tools. There's a lot of different ways that you can hire a personal assistant without actually having to bring someone in on payroll just yet.
There you
Okay,
go.
so that's our next podcast. I'm super excited about that one because that's going to be, we got to get down to
a game
business.
changer, right.
We have to get down to
We
business.
will. We always do.
Yes.
We always do.
Yes.
Yeah. So. But thank you all for watching. She's in a circle. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you again, Brenda Vega, for coming out. Amazing coach and consultant. I can see why people would want to pick you up. The way you just introduce yourself and how you speak about what you do so passionately made me sit up my seat a little bit straighter and makes me want to, vocalize a little bit more clearer too. So, I mean, definitely thank you for coming out. We'll definitely have you on again. And you guys make sure you get in a circle. And thank you for watching.
It's a wrap. Episode 4. We got to cheers it up. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers to our first guest in episode
Yes,
4.
cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you all so much. And thank you all for watching. Can't wait to see those pictures. Don't forget to tag us. She's in the circle. And don't forget to share. All right. Share if you're watching this. Share with someone that you know can benefit from today's podcast. Okay.
And make sure you follow and subscribe.
That's right. Hit that little bell on YouTube. Hit that little bell. All right. Thank you all. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
This was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for joining the She's in the Circle podcast. See you on all our social media platforms for more empowering episodes and contagious laughter. Follow us for useful business tips. Subscribe to access valuable gems and wealth building tips that will ignite your success.
Join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for exciting conversations and stay in the loop with your business besties.